Welcome back to the channel, and hello if you're new. Before we get into the video, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment down below your thoughts, and consider subscribing to stay posted on my future content. Now without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so let's get stuck into the recap. Episode 1. So Peter Parker's first day at Midtown High is disrupted by a battle between Doctor Strange and a symbiotic alien, which I believe is Venom, leading to the school's destruction. Peter saves a freshman called Nico during the chaos and is bitten by a spider that emerges through the portal and then passes out. Months later, Peter has developed spider-like abilities and operates as Spider-Man. Due to the school's destruction, Peter and Nico transfer to Rockford Bales High School. Peter rescues Harry Osborn from thugs, gaining public attention as Spider-Man. Then Norman Osborn visits Peter's home, offering Peter an internship. On to episode 2. Norman and Peter discuss an internship in which he accepts. Peter meets fellow interns called Jean, Asher and Cho, balancing school and the internship. Peter misses social event, straining his friendship with Nico. As Spider-Man, Peter confronts an arsonist named Butane, noting an Infinity logo on his equipment. Norman becomes suspicious of Peter's dual identity after reviewing security footage. On to episode 3. Norman confronts Peter about being Spider-Man, then he proposes a partnership, which Peter initially declines. Peter decides to continue the internship to support Aunt May. Lonnie's brother Andre, aka Dre, is involved with the 110th Street Gang, leading his older brother Lonnie to join to protect him. Then criminals Maria Vasquez and James Sanders acquired advanced tech and rob a jewelry store. With Norman's assistance, Spider-Man apprehends them, noticing the Infinity logo on their gear. Then Peter agrees to Norman's partnership. Moving on to episode 4, Avengers are divided over the Sokovia Accords, pushing Norman and Peter to protect New York. Peter then tests various Oscorp design suits, settling on a predominantly white design. Bonnie's now part of the 110th, now faces threats from a rival Scorpions gang. Spider-Man then battles Russian bank robbers to the fight. On the way back to Oscorp, Peter reveals his identity by accident to Harry. Otto Octavius is introduced as the benefactor, supplying criminals with advanced technology. On to episode 5. Octavius provides Mila with a laser-equipped helmet, leading her to adopt the alias Unicorn. Mila, aka Unicorn, assists in a prison break, but Spider-Man intervenes, saving Mikhail during the confrontation. Peter earns his animosity despite the rescue. Peter's attempt to socialize with Nico and Harry causes tension due to their differing personalities. Lonnie earns the nickname Tombstone after proving himself to the 110ths after the conflict with the Scorpions. On to episode 6. Now episode 6 is where things really start to shift. The stakes get higher and Peter's world starts to unravel. Lonnie's struggle with the 110th Street Gang intensifies, and it's clear that his choices are starting to impact his life outside of crime. His girlfriend Pearl confronts him, but he refuses to leave. Peter tries to keep his friends together by arranging a hangout between Nico and Harry, but it doesn't go to plan and Nico and Harry just don't click. Meanwhile, Norman alerts Peter to a break-in at Oscorp, leading to a huge fight between Spider-Man and Daredevil. Daredevil, who's investigating Oscorp, believes Norman is corrupt and doesn't trust Spider-Man's alliance with him. Their fight is intense, but ultimately Daredevil outsmarts Spider-Man and takes him down. This episode ends on a shocking note. Nico discovers Peter is Spider-Man when Harry accidentally lets it slip. This breaks her trust in Peter, aka Spider-Man. On to episode 7. Nico now distant, Peter is left dealing with the fallout. Things get even worse when a new villain enters the picture. With Octavius still in hiding, Peter and Norman work together to track him down, following traces of gamma radiation. Meanwhile, Nico and Harry grow close as they bond over the frustration with Peter. At the biggest moment, the introduction of Matt Gargan as Scorpion, and he does not mess around. 110th Street Gang is ambushed by Scorpion, and Lonnie barely escapes with his life. Peter as Spider-Man tries to stop Scorpion, but he gets completely outmatched. It is very brutal. Peter barely makes it out alive, and Norman has to step in to save him. On to episode 8. Peter is now second-guessing himself. After barely surviving his fight with Scorpion, he's wondering should he even be Spider-Man. Norman then pushes Peter to embrace his power, telling him that if he doesn't step up, New York will fall apart. While General Ross and Iron Man captures Otto Octavius, revealing that his experiments has violated the Sokovia Accords. Feeling lost, Peter tries to reconnect with Pearl, but his Spider-Man duties once again pull him away. In a heartbreaking moment, Pearl ends things with Lonnie, telling him she can't be with someone who chooses the gang life over her. Harry Osborn introduces Peter to a new suit, while Peter embraces Norman's advice in telling him to stop holding back. On to episode 9, his biggest battle yet, but he's not alone this time. Scorpion launches a full-on attack on the 110th Street gang, wanting to wipe them out for good. Lonnie tries to hold his ground, but he's outmatched. Spider-Man joins the fight. Together, Lonnie and Spider-Man try to take Scorpion down. Just when it seems hopeless, Big Don runs off after being nearly killed by Scorpion. Lonnie tries to find some tech to even the odds against Scorpion. Suddenly, Lonnie gets powers. Something triggers inside of him, which then puts him on equal footing with Scorpion. And then Spider-Man and Lonnie take down Scorpion together, proving that Lonnie's more than just a street thug. With the gang in ruins and their leader running away, it leaves Lonnie to take over, but whether that's a good thing remains to be seen. Meanwhile, Peter and Doctor Strange team up to stop Norman's experiment. Scorp opens a portal to outer space, and through it they see the symbiotes. Strange realizes they have to shut it down fast, and Peter has a plan to send Venom back through the portal. Risky move, Doctor Strange lets Spider-Man power back up the machine, giving them enough time to reverse what's happened. But before this event, Doctor Strange then gets an idea and he rewinds time using the time stone, then creates a portal of his own to buy Spider-Man more time. Peter is slightly confused, but when Strange re-emerges, he understands everything. This was a canon event all along, and Doctor Strange finally realized why Peter recognized him back in episode 1. Eventually, Doctor Strange pushes Venom back into the portal, holds off the other symbiotes with a massive energy blast, causing him to collapse. Just when it looks like it's over, in the backgrounds of the symbiotes seem to be forming back together. While heading back to the portal that leads to Earth, Peter tries to destroy the machine himself, pulling it apart while nearly crushing himself in the process. As he jumps out the way at the last second, a small fragment of symbiote comes through the portal. Meanwhile, Norman is finally exposed to the media, and the media turns on him. We later see him talking with Doc Ock when he visits him in prison, in which he uses this time to gloat to Doc Ock about stealing his inventions and beating him. On to episode 10. Instead of Harry and Peter's friendship breaking, they grow closer over the events. Then they have a big discussion about what's next. Peter and Nico inspire Harry to create a fair exploitation-free internship program, one that helps the smartest young minds develop their ideas without being taken advantage of, which seems like Harry is finally moving Oscorp in the right direction. Meanwhile, Norman's hidden projects aren't dead. His research follows on from Doc Ock, setting up future chaos. Later, Peter visits Doctor Strange, reflecting on everything that's happened. Doctor Strange acknowledges how dangerous this all could have been, but Peter reminds him they pulled through. Peter then asks about the time stone and the future, but Strange simply tells him even if he could, he wouldn't, but he will say this, that he's a wise kid and he's certain that he'll be just fine. With that, Peter smiles, feeling more at peace than he has in a long time. In Peter's final moments, he swings through the city, embracing his new role as Spider-Man. This then brings us to the other Easter eggs. We see Norman Osborn speaking to his team about the tech that they acquired from Doc Ock. One of the interns, called Jean, aka FNS, reveals that she's working with Daredevil and starts to report to him what Norman Osborn has been doing. She also mentions Harry's internship and notes that it actually seems legit. We also get to a shocking revelation. Aunt May knows that Peter's dad, Richard Parker, is alive, but Peter doesn't, in which I may add he's also in prison, which his crimes are not yet revealed. Going into my final thoughts, I want to start off with the pros of the show. We see Spider-Man defeat a classic villain, aka Scorpion. Lonnie gets his powers and it sets him up to be the tombstone we know. Given Big Don's exit, Spider-Man shows the growth that we want to see as a hero. Distrust in Oscorp comes to the forefront, the reveal with what's been going on behind the scenes. Norman's ego can't resist flaunting in front of Doc Ock. Doctor Strange and his appearance at the start of the series is explained. Also got to see the Watcher cameo. Ko uses magic to talk to her mum, which is quite cool to see. Spider-Man shows he's able to balance all things in his life while preparing for the future. The list of names on the whiteboard for Harry sets us up for Electro, Spider-Woman and Alchemax and more. We also get to see the Daredevil and FNS connection. Scott Forbes, who's involved in this animated series, is also involved with making Spider-Man comic book covers. I also feel like, away from the different direction they're taking the Spider-Man show in, what makes this Spider-Man Spider-Man so unique is how much it focuses on the people around him. Harry and Nico to Daredevil and Doctor Strange. And stuff like this can be a disaster, especially in the first season. However, every character plays a role in shaping Peter's story. It's about a whole world of heroes, villains and everyone else in between. This adaptation leans heavily into the bigger Marvel universe. We see Doctor Strange playing a huge role. We also see Daredevil stepping in, and even major hints at villains like Doc Ock and Venom, along with cameos from Iron Man and Captain America. It just feels more like a lived-in world rather than just Peter's personal journey. Now, onto my dislikes. I feel like there's major pacing issues in the first half, and the show takes a while to find its rhythm. The earlier episodes felt slower, and Peter's character arc didn't fully kick in until later. I also feel like some side characters felt underdeveloped. Even Peter and Norman Osborn and even Doctor Strange got some great moments, but some characters just didn't get enough focus. This is actually a huge issue, seeing as they've made huge changes to some characters. I also feel like characters like Nico and Nani had the potential but didn't get enough screen time to really shine. I also felt like Norman's fate felt a bit rushed. While we get teasers of what's next, his transition from powerful businessman to someone operating more in the shadows could have been explored more. Meeting with Doc Ock hints at big plans, but it felt like we jumped there quickly. I also think for a Marvel show, the marketing was strangely quiet. Even on Marvel's own YouTube channel, some of the trailers had comments turned off, which is very unusual. This could be due to the backlash that they have on Twitter. The information that they gave was a little bit confusing, because when they dropped the show, we thought that we had all the episodes available, and then I had to look online because there was no prompts telling me when the next episodes were. Overall, I think that this show deserves more attention, and hopefully Marvel improves promotion for season 2. So overall, I definitely recommend watching Friendly Neighbourhood Spider-Man. They build on the momentum they found. This show could really become something special, but that's just my thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment your thoughts down below. Hit that subscribe button so that you stay up to date on my future content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.